Good morning. Okay, do we want to do the baskets and the, what is this, a bench? I am struggling with words. Okay, do we want to do the baskets and the bench, or do we want to do the plants over here? Those are our options. Does anybody care what we do next? Either greens or purples. Plants. Done. Shelly, you spoke up first, you win. All right, so we're gonna do our 2 plants over here. So today we're gonna work with our 704 and the 699. Whoops, that's a little turned, isn't it? 704 and 699. Okay, so let's do the 704 first because it's more in the background. And then we will do the darker green. Okay, so let's see. I've got 3 strands here. So that's what I'm going to use. Let's see. We've done stem stitch and back stitch and whipped back stitch and chain stitch. Okay, so I'm going to go with I really want to do stem stitch again. Okay, I'm going to go with stem stitch. All right, so I've got 3 strands of the 704. And we are just going to do some of these grasses here. So with stem stitch, I like to do my loop out to the side, whatever way this is curving. Okay, so we're going to do our loop on this side. And go from there. So we're going to go up in the top hole, down in this second hole, and then up in the middle. And then we'll pull that snug. And then the space from this stitch to this stitch is going to be the same from here to here. And then we're going to come up in this hole that we ended in last time. So this is a stitch we've already done. We did it in the for the flower centers in the pink flowers up above the house. But now we're just doing it in a straight line. We also did it when we outlined our door on our house. So I'm going to do these ones that I drew first, and then I'll decide if we need to add in some more. And you can go up or down with these, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go, this one I did down, this one I'll go up. So the closer you do your stitches together, the more twisted that this will be. So if you want to have it really twisted, then do your stitches smaller. If you want less twist, you can do these bigger. I usually fall somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna come over here. I think we might even just throw in just some regular straight stitches just to kind of fill it in. So you could do that as well. You could just do a bunch of straight stitches at different angles. But I like the texture that different stitches add, so I'm gonna do a little bit of both. I was so impressed that I got cut up last night. My kids have school this week, but it's like they do a week, they call it intensives, and they like study one subject really in depth. So my daughter is in 2nd grade, and they are talking about like theater and puppets and like adapting stories. So they were talking about the story of the 3 Little Pigs, and they changed it into the 3 Little Fish, and then it was like a shark that was knocking down, like trying to get into their houses, and he like broke his teeth on the last house. And anyway, so they talked about, anyways, so this week they're doing their intensives, and so I let them stay up a little bit later so that I could finish last night, because I was like, it's all right if you're a little bit sleepy tomorrow. Not super worried about like, they're not like learning anything new right now. I mean, they are, but nothing like, it's things that they're like excited about. Okay. Okay, so once you have those in, I'm just gonna go and just fill in just some random straight stitches just to kind of give it some different texture. Some of them are not gonna go to the bottom, some of them will. Trying to just be random here with some greenery, just to finish out with the needle and my thread here. I think that's good. Okay, one down. The next one will take us a little bit longer. Okay. Oh my gosh, this green is like stuck in my needle. All right, so that is it for the 704. Let's grab our 699 and see what kind of thread scrap we have on here to use. Okay, we've got, that's 2 strands. And this is 4. Let's see. Let's use the 3. Let's use the 2 strands. And we'll do some back stitch, and then we'll add some lazy daisy leaves. Okay, get a little knot here. Okay, so I'm gonna start over here. I'm just gonna do a bunch of the stems first, and then go back and do leaves after. So I'm doing these a little further apart because we're gonna add leaves at all the stitch lengths. So when I'm doing this, I try not to have another stitch right next to it because that's where I'm gonna put my leaves. So I'm gonna move this one up a little. So that my leaves won't be in the same spots. I'm just gonna do this one a little, so this one can come up like in the middle of this stitch. And the same thing, I kind of want it to end in the middle. Made it. Whoa, I missed a lot. We just did stem stitch on these thicker ones, and then I just kind of filled it in with some just straight stitches. And now we are back stitching some stems, and then we're going to add some leaves to this. But I wanted to get all the stems done first. Let's see. I don't like that one curving down like that, so I'm not gonna do that. All right. I think that's enough stems. Do one more right here. Okay. So we're gonna go add some leaves. Okay, so I'm gonna start over here, and then we'll work our way. So now you could do this one of two ways. You could do one leaf on each side of the stem, or you could just do like every other side. So I'm gonna start with every other side, and then once I'm done with that, then I will decide if I need some more leaves somewhere. But that just gives like a good place to start without it feeling like too full. Like we don't want it to be too overwhelming. Okay. like to start at the bottom and work my way up. Because where I end, then I can start another next to it. See with how close these are together, sometimes you don't need one on every stem even. That's why I like to start with a little less, because it's always easy to add more, but it's really hard to take away once they're on there because they're all connected. So like you can't just like cut one out. To like cut them all out. So that's why I like to start with a little less. Go from there. Okay, about to the end of this thread. I'm just going to move over here and do this one, and then I'm going to be done with this piece of thread. Okay. All right, let me get some more thread in my needle here. I'm kind of liking the 2 strands. Gives it a little bit more, I don't know, just looks different than our other stitches. All right, just putting a little knot in my thread. Okay, so I have this big one right here. So I'm going to start here and then figure out what we want to do below later. Okay, so there's nothing else around here, and so I'm just going to go ahead and do another one right here on the other side, because I know I'm going to want one there, because there's nothing else around it. And then I'll go back to every other side. apparently I don't have a lot to say today. And Roman's not here to entertain us. My husband had to go to Home Depot, so he took Roman with. Give me an hour and a half without him for a minute. All right. See, I feel like this one needs another one too. Mm-hmm. All right. Look how cute this is. All of our cute little plants. I'm so glad we're getting some color on there. All that brown that we were doing in the beginning was a little depressing. Just a little bit. All right. Got one more down here. And then we can step back and look at it. Try not to get tunnel vision. I feel like when I'm just looking at the plant itself and not at the whole picture, I tend to not do quite as well. Let's see, this is all twisted now. Hang on. Okay. There. Okay, let me tie this off, and then we can look at it and decide if we need some more leaves on there. Okay. So it's not quite as full down here as I want it, and I feel like we could add some leaves in here, right here. So let me grab my needle and thread. Now when I go back and fill in, I don't even add it to like a specific branch. I just like add some leaves in where I feel like it needs some. So like down here is a little sparser than I wanted. This is where you get to be creative and just add in some leaves wherever you want. But make sure you don't like keep adding without like stopping and looking at the whole thing, or else you're gonna end up with a billion leaves that you're like, what am I doing? So stop for a minute and look at it. I think that's good. I don't think I want to add anything else. I think that's good. All right, so there's our two plants. I'm trying to think We've only got 2 more days. We better do something else. Because it's only 10:26. So let's do our little flower pots while we're here. Okay, let me tie this off. Okay. Flower pots. I have them on the pattern as purple, but you can do them whatever color you want. I'm going to stick with the purple because that's what I have on there. And I already have a piece cut that is 4 strands. So that's what I'm going to use. But if you only have 3 or something, that's fine too. Okay. These are not going to be anything fancy. We're just gonna satin stitch them. They have enough texture around them. I think they'll be all right to just be simple. I'm having troubles threading this needle. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to do a satin stitch vertical satin stitch. So I'm going to start at the bottom. Just work our way to the top. I'm going to have it fan out just slightly. So I'm going to put in some little guides where I want these stitches to be. Oop. Hang on, we've got a knot. I'm going to come fill this in. All right, one more, and then I'm going to just do one straight stitch across the top and the bottom, just to kind of finish them a little, make them look a little smoother. This is where we started, so there's a knot right there. We're just gonna go across here. Okay, one pot. And do the other one in a light purple. And then we'll add some little tiny flowers. How many strands is this? This one's only 3 strands. Should we do a little tiny basket weave? That might be fun. Give this one a little bit of texture since the other one is not textured. Okay, so with a basket weave, gonna do like we did before. We're gonna make ourselves some little guides. They're not gonna be quite next to each other. We're gonna leave a little space. One more. Okay. And then on this side, we're gonna go horizontal and weave under these. So we're gonna go under, or over, under, over, under. And then go down. We're gonna come back and do the same thing. So I'm gonna keep this pretty loose. So I'm gonna keep my threads. I'm not gonna do them too close together, but because this one started with an over, we're gonna start this one with an under. So every other side. So we can go every other. See, and then we create this little woven basket look. There we go. All right, so this last one, I'm just gonna go straight across the top. I'm not gonna weave it under or over or under anything, just to finish it off. And I'm just gonna outline it so it has an edge. Cute little woven looking pot. There. All right. Okay, if you have any green scraps, it doesn't matter what color we use here. So I still have some of this $6.99 green from this plant, so I'm just going to use that for the stems of these little flowers here. Now these are little, so I'm going to stick with the 2 strands. I think that's the way to go. And then I'm just going to do 2 or 3 little flowers sticking out the top. I think originally I had them as like daisies, but I think they're a little bit smaller. So I'm going to start up here and just stick it down under that one that I did straight across, and one more over here. So those are the stems, and then I'm just going to do little leaves on them. Just little tiny straight stitches. One on this side. I'm going to do the same thing over here, except I think I'm going to do 3 on this one. 1, 2, 3, and then just some little stems. And then I'm just going to do some French knot flowers. Just do a little French knot at the top of these stems. Okay, I'm going to tie this green off. And then we can grab some colors. Okay, what color do we want to do these? I think yellow. Okay, so I've got, 4 strands here? So you could do 4 or 6, because we want it to be kind of like big and fluffy. So we're gonna do like a really loose French knot. Okay. So I'm going to come up just above the stem, and then when I go down, I'll go down closer to the stem. So I've got 4 strands. I'm going to wrap it 3 times and then keep that loose and just pull it down. So you could do pink, you could do white. You could do little blue ones if you wanted. I'm planning on doing, like, in here, I'm planning on doing pink and white flowers, so that's why I'm choosing yellow for this. Plus, I think it contrasts nicely with the house. There. Cute little flower pots. All right, friends. I think that's it for today. 10:38. We're doing good. Okay, so let's see, tomorrow's Thursday, so we've got the bench and the gnome and the path and then like the grass. So, oh, and the chimney. We got to do the chimney when we do this little. Thanks. This is coming along so nicely. I think so too. I think it's just gonna be really, really cute when it's all finished. So I'm excited. Okay, so work on that. Let me know if you have questions, and I will see you tomorrow in the evening again. So 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I will be here stitching something. This has been like a fly by the seat of our pants kind of day. So, okay, thanks for coming. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.